Hey guys, welcome back to the AI Kitchen. I went and did a thing. I reached out to Harvest Right freeze dryers and asked them if they could help me get a freeze dryer for this channel. Because I was thinking, AI Kitchen, we always do things that AI tells us to, and we cook things, new revolutionary recipes created by AI and ChatGPT. What's the most futuristic way to cook, I was thinking? Freeze drying, right? Everyone's freeze drying candy and all these other crazy freeze dried things, freeze dried ice cream. You always think of sci-fi, futuristic, Marty McFly, Back to the Future. So they were nice enough to give me a discount on a unit, which is cool. They also give me an affiliate code. So if you want to buy a freeze dryer, link down below would give you the opportunity to do that, and it would give me some credit as the person who sent you over there. But that's not the whole point of this. The point of this is to try something new. So I said to AI, AI, create a recipe that literally is better, something unique, something that's not a common thing people are doing. Obviously Skittles are awesome in a freeze dryer. Everyone knows that. I made some already, they're banging. But create a recipe that people aren't talking about that is actually better because you use the freeze dryer. Freeze dryer is an active part of the recipe and the food tastes good freeze dried without rehydrating it. And this is what it gave me. Sounds weird. Crunchy spiced chickpea and vegetable medley. That's what spat out of the old AI machine. And we're gonna try it and see if it really is good. We do have a bunch of vegetables we need to prep. So I'm gonna get a cutting board, get a knife, and we're gonna get going on this. And even if you don't have a freeze dryer, it'll be certainly interesting to see how it turns out. All right, so I'm just pulling out the ingredients. Diced red onions is one, a half a cup of it. I actually have this from a recipe I just made, the Mexican tacos, which I think is coming out next week, and they were really good. But, no, Mexican pizza, or whatever. Mexican pizza recipe, Taco Bell style, coming next week, and it was delicious. But I had already cut up some onions and had some leftovers, so we'll just use those. I'm gonna go rinse the carrots and the peppers. We're also gonna need chickpeas for this, so give me a second and I'll be right back. On that note, I also need to drain and rinse the chickpeas, so I'll do that too. Okay, so I'm still kind of learning my way around the whole freeze dryer situation, so hopefully I do everything right and it doesn't turn into a huge mess. But again, I feel like a lot of people are watching this to watch me screw up, so you might get exactly what you want. A cup of diced carrots. So I went and cleaned off some carrots and sharpened my knife a little bit, hopefully enough. I do more than one carrot at a time. I could get fancy like that. Like Applebee's on a date night, which, the irony is that Applebee's is not that fancy. Does that look like about a cup? Pretty close, maybe a little more. I want them to be diced, which I think is finer than that. Nothing is finer than eating at your diner. That's a Seinfeld quote. I watch Seinfeld all the time, and I still don't really know if it's a good show. I've probably watched every season 30 times. And it's just there, it just exists, but is it good? There's moments you laugh. After rewatching 30 times, you're not laughing anymore. You're just it's like having an old friend on in the background, It's also the only good show that streams on Netflix anymore. They lost all the good ones. I don't feel like I need 50 different streaming services, so I just kind of live with what's on Netflix. I don't want Peacock and Disney and et cetera, et cetera. Send this to the executives over at Peacock and Disney and they'll see why they're not doing that well. Random topic here. All right, so a cup of diced carrots. We got half a cup of diced onions. I should measure, I guess. All right, I got my little 1 cup measure. Let's get a cup of carrots in there. I'm not a carrot fan. My kids have bunnies though. The bunnies love carrots. So there's a cup of carrots. Let me make sure I got a half cup of diced onions here. A little too much. Half cup of diced onions. 1 cup of diced bell peppers of various colors for the look of it, it says. So we got a red one and an orange one. I thought the pack I bought would come with green as well, but it didn't. So we're just gonna do red and orange. These are also diced up. Now, the thing with freeze drying, which I may or may not have realized, I kind of didn't realize before I bought it, is it takes forever. It takes forever to freeze dry stuff. Now, candy's not too bad. Like I said, I've done Skittles, Airheads, Jolly Ranchers, all that's pretty delicious. And there's already tons of videos about that. I wanted to try something unique here. But even that takes 6 hours to freeze dry candy, which is wild. And this, I think, is gonna tell me even longer. I haven't read through the whole recipe, because part of the fun is me not reading through the recipe and seeing what happens. But I like the idea of just coming up with a bunch of brand new things that you could freeze dry and have it be an improvement on what we're already eating as humans. Just all of a sudden, there's new stuff to try that's literally better than anything else. That's exciting to me. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but that's the dream. 1 cup of diced peppers. So we got red, we got orange, we got, a medley. It's a medley, guys. A medley of diced peppers here. We'll throw them on this last plate. like so. Clean up my mess a little bit, not much, just a little bit. I also did drain and rinse my chickpeas, so I have 2 cups of chickpeas. So now we have a cup of carrots, half cup of onion, 1 cup of diced bell peppers, and 2 cups of chickpeas that are cooked. I got them out of a can though. All right, so according to ChatGPT, we do need to cook this a little bit in some capacity. And to do that, it says to take a baking sheet or 2 and line it with parchment paper, like so. And then preheat your oven to 375, which I've just went in and done. I don't really know how to parchment paper, guys. I've never really used it. Am I supposed to cut it? I don't know. Like I said, I've never really used parchment paper. There's scissor marks like on it, like you're supposed to take scissors to it. I'm great at this. I'm great at this. Don't deny my greatness. In a large bowl, combine the chickpeas, carrots, bell peppers, and red onions. I need a large bowl. Anyone got a large bowl? All right, so we're gonna call this a large bowl, guys, and we're gonna pour our chickpeas in it, and our bell peppers, and our carrots, our onions. We're gonna mix those up. Let me get rid of these extras here. I'm a mess. I know I'm a mess today. I got a messy thing going on here. All right, so mix that up like so. It's a little medley, guys. This looks healthy. I mean, I wasn't asking for something healthy, but this does look like it's gonna be a healthy snack option. So there's that. All right, so it says we need to add some salt to this. I'm just gonna load on some salt and some pepper. I feel like I should mix it up and add a little more of both. This bowl's not quite big enough, so I'm spilling a little, okay? Let's add a little more pepper here. I mean, this is gonna be all the flavor, so gotta make sure I go a little heavy on the salt and such. That's probably too much salt. We then wanna do 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And like always, I'm using a half teaspoon because I can never find my 1 teaspoon. I should just buy some, but just do that twice. So 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder goes in there, like so. And then some cumin and smoked paprika. So 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, like that, followed by a half teaspoon of cumin, which is one of my favorite spices. And let's mix that up a little bit. We also need to drizzle it with a 1/4 cup of olive oil. All right, let's stir this up and then I'll go do a 1/4 cup of olive oil. What do I got? I don't have a 1/4 cup out here. I'll just use a tablespoon, half a tablespoon, do that 8 times, same number. 1, 2, I'll be back after 8. All right, stir that in. So now we got the olive oil, all the spices, the salt, the pepper, the cumin, the smoked paprika. We need to add an interesting ingredient next, which I've never used, called nutritional yeast. Can't even say it. Nutritional yeast. Whew, it's a mouthful. So we want 2 tablespoons of the nutritional yeast, which I don't know if I'm supposed to keep this refrigerated after this or what, but there's a half, there's another half. Should I mix it up? Nah, it's fine. Another half, and there you go. Nutritional yeast has been added, and it says this is going to give it a cheesy flavor. A cheesy flavor. I have no idea what this is gonna taste like. It's a fun experiment though. I thought it would be fun to do an experiment on the channel using the freeze dryer. I might try to get it to do a whole meal too. This seems like more of a snack. It'd be cool to see what it can do in the realm of full meals. You know, it's very AI kitchen-esque, right? Very futuristic. Freeze-dried cooking. Should be fun. A lot of people use the freeze dryer to like do prepping, like for the end of the world. Cause you can like freeze dry stuff and it lasts for 25, 30 years, like full meals. You just have to like rehydrate them to eat them. So that's kind of nifty. I don't know if I'll do that, but it is cool that it exists as a possibility. All right, I might only need 1 of these. We're gonna pour it out onto the baking pan, which has our parchment paper. Then we're gonna spread it. I don't think I need 2. I think 1 is gonna be enough. It's not a very big baking pan is my only concern. It's actually a very small baking pan, which is why I'd grab 2. It says bake until they're tender, 25 to 30 minutes, mixing halfway through. I'm gonna throw it in the oven, 375 degrees, 25 to 30 minutes, mix it halfway through. All right, guys, it has been about 30 minutes with this in the oven, and I'm gonna put it onto the tray here, and we're gonna see what happens. I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a weird recipe, guys, a weird cooking video, especially since probably like no one out there has a freeze dryer. But some people might, and they might find this video and be like, ooh, I want to try what AI created, and this will be their chance. It said to like spread it out on your freeze dryer tray in a single layer. I'm like not convinced that that's a single layer. It kinda is, And then literally it has to freeze for a day. 24 hours. So I'm not gonna try this today, but tomorrow I will. Let me show you the freeze dryer so you know what it looks like, you know? Can I like zoom in? I don't really want to move my camera. I'm lazy like that. There, you can see it next to my popcorn machine. But yeah, so load tray into freeze dryer, close valve, drain. It's like cold in there and stuff. This is gonna go in. Wait, maybe I'm supposed to let it cool first. Uh-oh, hold on, crap. I screwed that up. I need to let that dry completely before I put it in. It's so complicated. So what do I do now? Can I just leave this sitting here? I have to hit continue. So I'm just gonna leave it there while that dries for 20 minutes. Then again, I guess you got the general idea, right? Like, you saw me put it in, how that works. I'm gonna let that dry for a half hour, but I'm gonna start editing that while I wait, and we will pull it out tomorrow. So I'll just come back. I'll let it dry, I'll put it in. It'll be in there for 24 hours. It'll hopefully not be a fail, and then I'll be back in 24 hours, and we will see if it's amazing. All right, guys, this is done. This crazy invention thingy that ChatGPT created. What do you think, Callie?
What is it?
It is, I don't remember, garbanzo beans and vegetables and weird stuff. So I'm gonna try it. I'm a little nervous about it. Huh. That's interesting. It's definitely freeze dried. Are you zooming in on my face?
No.
Pretty good. I wouldn't call it a meal. It's like a snack mix. All right, this isn't gonna change the world, guys. It's okay, and okay is all it is.
Yeah, I'll go in there.
Also throw in this.
4 ice creams, yum yum.
Because why not?
I'm gonna have to try it.
Try that.
Here, Dad. Come here. Okay, now you film me. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try one, guys. Oh wow, this is weird.
Crumbling. What do you think? Tastes like ice cream. She's very confused.
No, I just had to swallow. It just kind of tastes like, you know, people in outer space have to eat like freeze-dried stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it just tastes like.
Well, that's what it is.